Packing for purpose. At 63, she had packed for countless trips, business conferences, family vacations, even quick weekend getaways. But this time, she wasn't just packing a suitcase. She was packing for a journey she'd spent decades avoiding, the journey to rediscover herself. She had finally answered the call she'd been dodging for years. It wasn't a phone call or an email. It was the steady, insistent whisper of her soul, telling her it was time to reconnect with her purpose. Her coach, who she secretly nicknamed the Purpose Whisperer, had mapped out the first step: preparation station. Packing isn't just about what you'll bring, the coach has said with a smile. It's about what you're ready to leave behind. What are you holding on to? And what do you actually need for the road ahead? She had nodded as if she understood, but now, staring at the empty suitcase on her bed, she felt utterly lost. What did she need? What had she been holding on to for too long? She started with what felt safe. Tossing a blank notebook into the suitcase, she muttered, "Every great journey needs a journal." Next came her favorite coffee mug, because caffeine is self-discovery fuel, right? She glanced at a stack of self-help books, the ones she'd been meaning to read for years. With a sigh, she added 2 to the pile. Maybe a third time's the charm. But then came the harder choices. She turned to her closet, pulling out dresses, jeans, and shoes, only to stop mid-motion. Nothing felt right. Packing for a destination she couldn't see felt like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. Then her hand brushed against something familiar, an old lavender-scented sweater tucked in the back of her closet. Faded and stretched, it looked like a relic from another life. Her mother had given it to her years ago, back when the world felt a little simpler and her dreams had felt more within reach. She froze, clutching it, as memories surfaced. Her mother's voice was clear as though she were in the room. "Never settle for less than you deserve." Her mother had always been her greatest supporter, a quiet force encouraging her to pursue her ambitions. But she knew her mother's words came from a place of experience, because she herself had lived a life far removed from her own dreams. Growing up in the difficult circumstances, her mother had learned to prioritize survival over desire. She had traded her passions for practicality, her dreams for the safety of the familiar. For years, she had admired her mother's strength, but now, sitting with the sweater, she saw something else: the burden of unfulfilled dreams. Her mother's sacrifices had built a life for their family, but they had also created a legacy of fear, one that had unknowingly been passed down to her. She was carrying her mother's hesitations, her unspoken belief that dreams were too risky, too indulgent, and too dangerous. She ran her fingers over the soft fabric and asked herself the question she had been avoiding. Am I bringing this because it inspires me or because it holds me back? After a long pause, she folded the sweater carefully and set it aside. Not for the suitcase, but for closure. She didn't need much: her journal, a pen, a photo of her 2 daughters, and a pair of comfortable walking shoes. She was packing not for what she had been, but for what she might become. When the suitcase was zipped, she stood a little taller. Her reflection in the mirror caught her off guard. For the first time in years, she saw someone ready, not just for a trip, but for the life waiting beyond it. With a small smile, she grabbed her keys and whispered to herself, "All right, let's do this. And this time, no losing yourself at baggage claim." The end. Like, share, subscribe, and follow us for more On Purpose Living content.